Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Judith Patterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Texas, and today, before we get to the card that we're going to be making, I wanted to tell you about a few updates, things that are happening in September. So the first one is Stampin' Up! Is offering, it's called Perfect Partners, and they're die sets that coordinate with 6 stamp sets that are already in the catalog. You can purchase the dies as alone if you already have the stamp set and you want the dies to go with it, or you can you can purchase it as a bundle. I decided to do this birthday piggy. I got the coordinating dies. They're called Playful Piggy dies. Let me pull them out of the envelope so that you can see them a little bit better. I did already put them on a magnet sheet, but so they don't just coordinate with the actual stamps. There's fun things to go along with it, like that little wagon, the bow, some party things. It's just, they're cute. And all of the die sets are like this. There's some extra dies in there other than what just goes with the exact stamps that are in the set. And these will be available September 1st through September 30th while supplies last. So if you see something that you love, you might want to grab it sooner rather than later. Stampin' Up! Has also announced weekly deals for this month. So every week in September there will be some specials only available during that week, and again while supplies last. And then I have decided to start doing classes again. I'm very excited about this. It's something I've been thinking about for a while, and I'm very ready to get started with this. So I'll be offering online classes, or not online classes. You can get a class to go. So I will pre-record the tutorial and do a PDF, and so you can purchase just that. You can purchase the bundle that goes with it, or you, if you're local, can come to my house and we'll craft together and make all the projects together. You'll still get the PDF tutorial and the video tutorial too if you want to re-look at it at home. So, very excited about that, and you have until September 10th to register and pay for that class so that I can get the materials ordered and then either have them ready for you to come do the class here or have them shipped out by the end of the month. Okay, oh, and the class date for the in-person class is September 23rd. Alright, so today though, we're still using Honeybee Home. Loving this set. I love the little bees. The flowers are beautiful. I'm so sorry there's a little bit of a glare on that. We'll switch to the desktop. There you go. That's a little easier to see. So today I'm going to be using this stamp, this bee. He's my favorite. Don't know why, and so glad we're a family. We had some special family members come visit with us this past weekend, and it's just got me thinking about family and how precious they are. Okay, so I'm going to start with some stamping, of course. The first thing that I have is a piece of basic white cardstock. It's cut to 3.5 inches by 4 inches because that's what will fit through my little stamp cut and emboss machine, my mini, and also because it'll fit 2 of these flowers on it very nicely. So I'm just using my Memento ink to ink this up. And you want to leave room for your die to cut that out around the edge. I'm going to ink this one up again, and I'm going to try to get just a little bit more ink on this one. That looks good. Okay, I also have a scrap of basic white here. I used this one the other day, and then I decided not to use that bee on the project I was doing. So I didn't want to waste him, so I've already stamped the little bee. And then I have a small little piece of old olive. It measures 1 inch by 2 1/4 inches. And on it, I'm going to stamp the sentiment, "So glad we're family." So now let's color. I'm going to start by coloring the bee, and I'm using the dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm using the light Basic Black. I'm going to start with the black, just kind of go over the end here, the middle there. I'm going to touch up the legs just a smidge, do the center bit. Once upon a time, I knew all the parts of a bee, but I don't remember them now. So we're not getting very technical with our terms. Okay, so then I'm going to go through and add the yellow. And then for the wings, this is why I wanted to do the bee first. I'm going to give this time to dry. I'm using my Wink of Stella. This just adds a little bit of sparkle. And it's going to kind of pull some of that black in too. Just a little bit. I'm going to hold this up to the camera and see if it'll focus enough for you to see that. You can maybe just slightly see the shimmer. It's a lot more, it is subtle, but you can see it better in person, for sure. Okay, so then for the flowers, I'm using the dark Balmy Blue and the light Old Olive. So I'm going to start just by going over these places very lightly with my Old Olive, just add in a touch of green here, and I'm going to switch. I want my dark Old Olive. Definitely like that better. And I'm using that Balmy Blue, again in the dark. Okay, so now let's do some die cutting. I'm going to move this out of the way. Remember, when lining your plates up on the mini Stamp Cut and Emboss machine, you don't want the ends to line up perfectly. You want there to be a little bit of overlap there. It'll just make it easier to feed through your machine on this little one. It's just a little quirk. Okay, so now I'm going to grab a piece of Old Olive. I've got this cut 3 by 4 inches. This is a size I use a lot, so I just keep a stash of these in every color next to my desk. Very handy that way. So I'm using all 3 of these dies on the Old Olive, and they all fit on this one piece of cardstock. These are the 3 dies that do not have coordinating stamps to go with them in this set. be the grass. So your take your pick tool comes in really handy here because this doesn't want to come out. So I'm going to use this to just poke through these holes and it pops right out. And then we have 2 flowers. So I'm going to use this to poke out these extra bits, and then also to loosen this up some so that I can just pull it right out. This one is really in there, didn't want to let go. So in that case, I'm just going to poke through all the holes. Okay, and there's still a little extra piece there, so just get rid of it. Okay, so for the card base, I have a piece of thick basic white, cut 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and then I scored it at 5 1/2 inches. My next layer is going to be a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic black. And then here I have a piece of Daffodil Delight, cut 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, and I have already embossed it with this Hive 3D embossing folder, and I turn my embossing folder upside down and I place my cardstock in it. I use this line here to line it up and make sure everything is not cattywampus. Okay, so then my other piece is a black piece of cardstock that measures 1 1/8 of an inch by 2 3/8 of an inch. And then it's going to go under our sentiment piece that we cut out earlier. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is glue down this embossed piece of Daffodil Delight straight onto the basic black. I'm just going to center that up the best that I can. I'm not great at centering things and making things all even. In my house, my husband hangs things just because he's got a better eye for if it's straight or not. Plus, you know, he uses things like levels and things, measuring tapes to make it perfect. I just eyeball it. I'm not sure when that happened. I think somewhere along the way we switched with things like that. Okay, so I'm going to put, no, I'm not going to do that part yet. Next, what I'm going to do is start gluing down our flowers and things. So I'm going to start with this one here, and I'm only putting glue about, partway down. It's less than halfway. And I'm just putting little dabs of liquid glue, not a lot. I'm going to add a little bit more than that. There we go. Okay, so then I'm going to put this kind of right up there. But I want these tops on purpose to kind of hang off the page. I don't want it flat. So then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm just going to go, this one I'm going to go a little higher up. Make sure y'all can see what I'm doing here. So I'm just using little dabs of glue. Then I'm going to have this one sticking off this direction. I want it to stick to my card, not to me. And again, the tops are just kind of hanging loose there. Okay, so the last one is going to be this grass piece. And again, just about halfway down. And I'm going to put it about right there. Okay, so now I'm going to put these on top of each other. So I'm going to start by adding a bit of glue to the back of this. And I want it to go right about there. Okay, right about there. And then what I'm going to do with this one is I have a couple of mini Stampin' dimensionals. So I want to put one at the top of this, and then a little way down, and then one at the top of this. Whoop. And a little way down. I'm going to pull the backings off of these. I think most of them have already, well, no, just one of them had come off. Okay, so then I'm going to add some liquid glue to the bottom here. I'm going to put some more on that because it's kind of starting to dry. Okay, and then I'm going to put this over all of these, like so. Okay, and while I'm at it, I'm just going to go ahead and glue this guy down too. Okay, so I'm finished with this. So now I'm going to grab that glue dot, put it on the back of this, right about here, so maybe an inch up. Then I'm going to take my linen thread and I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. And I'm using this one glue dot to hold it still. So you want to make sure it's really on there good. And if you like to, you can also put a glue dot on this side just to give it a little bit of extra security. Okay, so then I'm going to take my ribbon, or not my ribbon, but my linen thread. I say ribbon a lot, and I don't know why, because I usually use twine or linen thread. I don't use a lot of ribbon. I use some, just not tons. So I want just a little bow. Go. So then cut off those ends. Then I'm going to use, I think I'm just going to go ahead and use some of these mini dimensionals to put the sentiment on. Scoot that bow over a little bit. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to add the bee again with a couple of mini dimensionals. These are perfect for these bees. I'm going to have the bee just flying up to the flower here. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my larger Stampin' dimensionals. In fact, I have my black Stampin' dimensionals right here. But no, since we're putting this on a white cardstock, I'm going to go ahead and go with the white. This is kind of a heavy piece of cardstock with all of the layers on it. I'm going to go kind of crazy with my dimensionals. Okay, there we have it. Gonna center that up just a little bit better. I hope. There we go. So there is our card today using Honeybee Home. If you want more ideas using this stamp set, then hop on over to my blog because I've been using it all week, and I have another one coming out tomorrow with with this stamp set. There may be some other stamp sets thrown in, but this is definitely the focus of this week. And I forgot to mention earlier, if you are looking for more information on my class or on the specials that Stampin' Up! Is running this week, then I have that link over in, those links over in my description, which is below this, I think, if you're looking on a computer or your phone. But also you can just go to my website, judithpatterson.net. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you can see more if you like it. Thanks so much for watching. Y'all have a great weekend. Happy stamping.